Today, I want to advocate for small town USA, for rural America. I say this as a Muslim who grew up in rural America. It wasn't always a very comfortable place to be as a minority. Fortunately, I fit in, I felt welcomed by these people, and they taught me a lot of important lessons in life. But as you know, rural America has become far more extreme in recent years, supporting candidates like Trump, certain conspiracy theories. And so on the left, there's this backlash against rural America, labeling them as racist, labeling them as backwards, not really understanding how we ended up here. My family has really benefited from globalization and America's open policy towards bringing in educated immigrants. I have cousins who are physicians, who work in the tech sector, who make very good salaries thanks to those policies. At the same time, those people I grew up with in rural America are doing worse than when I was there, when I grew up. And why is that? Because globalization has taken many of the manufacturing opportunities and sent them overseas. Meanwhile, we haven't invested in education to help them find new opportunities. As a result, they feel ignored, they feel oppressed, they feel forgotten. We tend to lump them in as just these white racist people, but they're people who have been suffering for a long time and ignored by both Republicans and Democrats election after election, and they finally found their voice in somebody. And then we blame them even more. And I think that's just not fair. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of globalization. I think it's caused and brought about many positive changes. I think my family has directly benefited from this. I'm not condoning prejudice or racism in any way. What I'm saying is there's a cause to these behaviors. When I see, I've learned this time and time again. When people are angry, when people are aggressive, when people are, argumentative and confrontational, there's usually some sort of trauma, some sort of suffering that set this off. And so I think it's important for us to invest some time in understanding that. What are the origins of these feelings, of the support for more extreme candidates, people like Trump and others? I hope I'm making myself clear. I hope I'm arousing some curiosity, because I can tell you, every time I visit, like where I grew up in upstate New York, it's more and more sad, more and more depressing. The opportunities are leaving, little by little, one factor leaves, another factor leaves. And then you look at the economy, the opportunities that people have. It's going from these well-paying middle-class jobs to retail jobs, working at Walmart, working at Target. And so the people can't even afford to go to a normal mall. Our mall, store by store, it's closed. It's really depressing. That's what I see. This is what they live every day. And they see immigrants coming in. They see them getting these really great jobs, these really great opportunities. They see government advocating for minorities and immigrants. And they're like, who's advocating for us? Who's thinking about us? And we're like, well, you're white and you need to, you got it good. But they don't have it good. I'm not saying minorities don't have it bad, don't have problems. They do. But these rural white people also have it bad. They also have challenges, and they have been ignored too. And I think this is something that we need to invest in as a society. It's not right for us to ignore any one part of society. Just like it's not right for us to ignore the racism that exists in society, how women are not paid equally. In the same way, it's not right for us to look at rural America, paint them with this racist brush that says that, well, your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings, your reality is not relevant, and that you're racist, and so we're disregarding you entirely. And until recently, they've had opportunities, but once those opportunities disappeared, there's growing resentment. They see other groups advocating for themselves, but who looks out for them? And so once they start saying, oh, we white people need to look out for white people, we're like, oh, you're racist, you're prejudiced. Can you blame them? Yes, there's racism. Yes, there's prejudice. Yes, it's getting worse. But again, if we look at the origins of this, if we look at where it's coming from, we empathize and understand their frustration, maybe solving that problem instead of shaming them into, shutting their mouths and suffering in silence, maybe that would be a better way forward. Just some thoughts that have kind of been bothering me over these past few years. Wanted to get it out there, see what you thought. Thanks for listening.